Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Tina McGarity, the owner of Chestless Inc., my new realm of beautiful, where we find beauty within our battles. I'm so glad you can be with me today because today I'm going to talk about a topic that is so dear to my heart. It is about my daughter and losing my one and only child. So hey, first of all, I have to say that I am rocking these lashes. Oh my goodness. You see that? Okay. Well, anyway, let's get started. I know that a lot of people will be able to relate to this because it is about losing a child. I am a parent who lost a child, my one and only child. And let me tell you a little story about that. I was pregnant back in March of 2008, and I was a parapro at a high school. And at the high school, I believe there were about 6 or 7 teachers that were pregnant at the same time. So it was so exciting, and it was unheard of that all these teachers were pregnant at the same time. I happened to be one of those teachers. Well, I was pregnant. I was excited. I went to my doctor for a follow-up to find out what if it was going to be a boy or if it was going to be a girl. Found out that it was going to be a girl. And during the ultrasound, the nurse was like, "Oh, look at her. She's waving her hand," and it looked like she was waving her hand. She had her little hand up like that, and so she's saying, and the nurse had said, "Oh, she's saying hello to mommy and daddy." So we were so excited. And I come from a place where I love children, and I've always wanted to have children of my own. But during this process, we were told that, the baby was doing okay. But then before we left the doctor's office, we were told that we had to go to the emergency room. Didn't know why. I was excited. This was puzzling to me because I'm like, I thought everything was cool. I thought everything was okay. But we get to the emergency room, and they had me tilted upside down for hours. I don't know if this was to keep the baby in so that I would not dilate. I can't remember. But I do know that I was looking at the ceiling, and it looked like crosses at the ceiling. Up on the ceiling, it looked like there were crosses. And I remember talking to God, and I was begging and pleading with him to please let me keep this baby. Don't let me lose this child, because prior to getting pregnant, there were some things that have happened in my life that we will discuss later that will surprise you. So I really wanted to have this baby and have my little girl. When my doctor comes in, sits on the side of my bed, and she holds my hand, and that's when I knew something was getting ready to take place. And as she held my hand, she looked at me and she said that you have a choice to make. You can either keep the baby inside you, but you may not make it, or you can deliver the baby and she may not make it. And guys, I have to tell you, for some time she had to give me a moment, because at that moment I did not care about losing my life. And I do know how parents will give their life for their children, because even though mine was unborn, I still was willing to give up my life for her. But she made that decision herself, and that is my little girl. I was laying there, and before all of this happened, let me tell you this. I had no idea what a contraction was, and they had offered me an epidural. And my hat is off to those women who have and give birth naturally without an epidural. Because I tell you what, when that pain hit me, I thought I was going to lose my mind. And I had asked them, well, how many can I take? Can I take more than one? Can I get one for the road? When I tell you, I'm pretty good with pain, but that type of pain, no. So I'm there, I'm relaxed, and thinking that everything's going to work out just fine. And lo and behold, I feel something go through me. And guys, when I tell you that I can't even explain how this feeling was, because I'm not dead, I don't know what death feels like, but I can feel death die inside of me. And it was the craziest feeling. Something inside of me had died. And next thing you know, I felt her coming out, and I reached down, and it was her head coming out of me. And so I was hoping and praying she was still breathing, and I screamed, and the nurses and the doctors came in, and I had to give birth. I had to push a dead baby out of me, which was my daughter, Destiny Grace. It still gets to me like it was yesterday. But I'm so grateful that there was a nurse there who asked me if I wanted to see her. And at the time I didn't, because I thought it would be too much. But she pretty much insisted that I see her and say goodbye. And I'm glad that she did, because I was able to hold her in my arms. I was able to talk to her, count her little fingers and toes, and it was just amazing. So I'm really glad and so grateful. Wherever you are, nurse, that was there that day, March 8th, 2008. Thank you. And the beauty in all of this is that I'm still a parent. I may not be able to have children of my own, and I'll tell you about that later. But you have to stay tuned and find out why. But I'm still a parent. I'm a parent that gave birth to a child that died. So to any parent out there who have lost a child during childbirth, or during a sickness, or during some type of unforeseen incident, you are still a parent. You are still a mother. You are still a father. So let me tell you something. The beauty in that is when Mother's Day come around and Father's Day come around, I expect my gift. I expect someone to say Happy Mother's Day, and I do get that, and that's the joy that I get to experience, because I'm still a parent. You are still a parent, despite the loss of your beautiful child. I just wanted to tell you that today, that we are still parents. And I know that our children are looking down on us and saying, thank God that you gave birth to me. Thank God you're my dad. Because I know that I would have been an awesome, awesome mother. And I know that my 12-year-old daughter, she would have been 12 years old this past March. I know she would have been amazing. So I hope that I said something today to encourage you. Anyone who have lost a child, anyone who has had to go through this type of experience, I hope that you know that you are still an amazing, beautiful parent. And I want you to stay tuned to what I have to say next, because that's going to blow your mind. Thank you again for visiting my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again.